What's going on, Neon Nationers? Welcome back to the Neon Arcade for some more Cyberpunk 2077 news and details. Today we're talking about some developing release date details which are pointing towards 2019 and putting some of this info into context, some details about Cyberpunk 2077 merchandise, Cyberpunk 2077 achievements and if they will be present in the game, some accolades for CD PROJEKT RED employees, some Dark Future Cyberpunk 2020 Mega Corporation updates, and some details about if we'll get an open or closed beta or battle royale mode. First up, let's take a look at some art we have to begin this news segment. First we have this Cyberpunk Cupid shot tweeted out by Cyberpunk 2077 and CD PROJEKT RED. It features a chromed out Cupid character with a red mohawk, but instead of the traditional bow and arrow our favorite February 14th cherub usually sports, he has what looks like a 50 cal pink sniper with some curious details on it. Now I know there have been some in-depth looks at exactly what these details could mean in terms of a release date, but I don't think any of these numbers within the picture carry any substantial weight, at least for now, so I won't bore you with any trivial facts. Next we have this really cool minimalist picture by Blank Sector, which features the Mantis Arms Cyber Psycho from the teaser trailer, as well as Night City at night with its neon ambiance. There's also a Trauma Team Aerodyne above, and I know it kind of looks like an alien, but I clarified with the artist and it is supposed to represent TT. It's overall a really cool little poster and would make some great wall art if you have a minimalist room setup or prefer art like this. Next, let's get into the meat and potatoes and talk about some 2019 release date leaks and details that have been uncovered by S League. This is a channel which has uncovered some rumors and leaks in the past regarding Cyberpunk 2077 multiplayer and a potential social hub aspect, and in general do some great detective work, so shout out to them for this particular find. In this find they looked into a company called Territory Studios, which has done the logo and identity work for CD PROJEKT RED, and as far as I know, have done the graphics and iconic piecing together of the Cyberpunk 2077 logo. Before we continue, can we give some airtime to their design work here? Even their scrap designs for Cyberpunk 2077 look absolutely insane. I think they've done a tremendous job and love their work with the logo. Now on their site they have a brief vision statement of their work with CD PROJEKT RED and talk about their collaboration with CDPR. At the end of the statement, however, they leave us with, "Unveiled at E3 2018, we look forward to a 2019 release." Now again, this has been uncovered by S League very recently, and thus Territory has since deleted the 2019 release aspect of it. If this was not compelling enough, let me briefly take you on a walk down memory lane to the Turkish Bilkom leak. Turkish Bilkom, which is a foreign distributor for CD PROJEKT RED, mentioned back in September 2018 in a tweet that the release date of Cyberpunk 2077 would also be in 2019. These are two heavy hitters when it comes to evidence that 2019 is a very reasonable release date. If you want even more concrete evidence, I suggest you check out my release date evidence playlist after this episode is done and let me know how convinced you really are. I also do want to provide some stipulations here. A release date can only be properly revealed by obviously CD PROJEKT RED, and all of these leaks and details when it comes to release dates are with a huge grain of salt, as time and time again CD PROJEKT RED has come out to say when it's ready it will be ready, and they don't know when that will be. Just keep that in mind as you're going through all these news segments. Next we have Mateusz Tomeskewicz as being named in the top 30 under 30 for Forbes Europe. If you guys remember, he'd been given this samurai jacket for his work with CD PROJEKT RED for 10 years, and it's looking like the year has just gotten better for him. As lead quest designer for The Witcher 3 and quest designer for Cyberpunk 2077, this guy really does deserve the recognition, and I really hope that the release of Cyberpunk 2077 really just solidifies how much more praise this studio deserves, even more than what they've already received. Next we have some brief Twitter questions, some which may be obvious and some which may not be. First we have a question from a Twitter user asking about a collector's edition. We've talked about this briefly in the last episode, and CD PROJEKT RED responds here that they will see about special editions. If they can come up with something cool, then sure. Now this is CD PROJEKT RED we're talking about. I think we'll see a collector's edition, and it will most likely be some sort of fan service. Next we have a question regarding Cyberpunk 2077 merchandise. We had a question regarding Cyberpunk 2077 merchandise, to which CD PROJEKT RED says stay tuned. If you guys remember, they had a survey helping them deliver the best online shopping experience and what we would be most likely to purchase in November of last year, and they've made some announcements that will come in 2019. Does this reinforce 2019 release day rumors? You can't really have a merch store without the game in full swing, can you? We also talked about Epic Stores not having exclusive rights to Cyberpunk 2077, and it looks like CD PROJEKT RED won't be pulling a Thronebreaker either, with having Cyberpunk 2077 as a GOG exclusive. Considering how poorly Thronebreaker did sales-wise by being an exclusive despite being a good game, I'd say this is a smart move. Next, we have some information via Discord about voice actors. There will only be one VA for the male and female characters, and obviously for different languages, there will be a VA for each of those. I know there have been some other games which feature multiple voice actors, but to be honest, I really do like both male and female voice acting we've heard so far, so I'm not overly concerned. Next, we have a couple more details via Twitter. It seems obvious that Cyberpunk 2077 wouldn't find a way to squeeze in an unfitting Battle Royale mode, but they've confirmed that they don't like the idea either. The Cyberpunk 2077 Twitter has also mentioned that there will be no closed or open beta, which shoots down the chances that you'll get your hands on something substantial before it's ready. Finally, we have some details via Twitter again about PS4 trophies. The Cyberpunk 2077 Twitter responds to this question, saying it's safe to assume that there will be trophies, but again, much like a lot of things, it's too early to talk about. Now, we can also assume with this that if PS4 has trophies, Xbox will have achievements and so will Steam. I didn't really give too much thought to achievements, but it's always another layer tacked onto the game that completionists can pursue for that coveted 100% score. Finally, we have Cyberpunk lore details via Artal Saurian Games. Just to be clear, this is mainly for those that want to learn about the source material and may or may not be canon, although I think we'll see a lot of these things in 2077 in one shape or form. In the most recent episodes, they've been talking about megacorporations. Megacorps are the law in 2077, with many of them operating like fully fledged nations and governments. In episode 53, we learn about Network News 54, which is featured in the teaser trailer. Despite its name, it controls much more than just the news. They also handle World News Service and diverse media systems, which has a reputation for eating its own employees alive. A small group of corps own these media networks and thus control and influence the public opinion to an extreme level. In episode 56, we see 7 of the most prominent and powerful megacorporations. EBM, which is a reference to IBM, is the world's largest manufacturer in the cyberpunk world. Zetatech is a new megacorp, or at least was in 2020, specializing in software and hardware technology. Orbital Air has several orbital facilities and offers cargo and passenger transport with their low-orbit flights. Microtech may be a play on Microsoft and is a workstation designer. Biotechnica owns the superfuel of the future Chu-2's license and is involved with genetic engineering and biotechnology. Infocomp is a data firm which records all forms of knowledge to store. Thanks for watching, guys, and for everything and anything Cyberpunk 2077, join Neon Nation by subscribing.